Hold on,
So Thanksgiving with the grandbaby is up-leveled?
yes, very much.
Isn't it
Very
amazing?
much up level.
The kiddos can make that magic like so much more like
Oh, I know. Just a
feels.
baby. Babies are blessings.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. How about you, Doreen? How was your thing?
Oh, it was so fun. My mom flew in from Seattle, and then we went to Georgia where my brother lives. And then after that, we went to Orlando to go to Universal Studios. And so we got to do that and like do all the rides and stuff. So we got back last night. So it's been kind of crazy.
Yeah. I know my parents, my dad and stepmom just left a few hours ago. So I totally feel you. They were here. My dad came back from Guam sick. So I put on my nurse hat and had to take care of him. I think he has pneumonia. Like I ended up listening to his lungs, taking his blood pressure. I called and got him on an antibiotic. Like he was just in bad shape. So we had to really keep ourselves low key, but it was actually really nice. We still like on one of the nights, we were supposed to go for like 5 nights to a beach cabin. We went for one night once he was feeling better and just enjoyed 2 days at the beach. And that was one night there. And it was good. So we had a good time too, but I'm so excited to be back in my routine. You know, it's nice to have everybody here, but it's just so disorienting, right? Like you're off your game. And so I was really craving this. I was craving this. So I was excited to get on the phone with you guys. All right, little housekeeping right at the beginning. So I've got Alex working on putting out the BOD group for Health Bet, and I do have a page already set up that has the rules on it that I'm going to share with you right now so that you guys can take a peek and decide what you want to share with your people as far as if you're going to promote it and want to invite to it. And then I'm going to drop it in the chat. So there's the one that I have set up. It's just a little video and then just some outlines of the rules. And then I have people just opting into like a text message. I have that going out in a newsletter this week. So that's the action I'm taking is like going through the newsletter this week, reaching out one-on-one, sending it to everybody in my Beachbody mailing list, right? Following up one-on-one with the people that have previously expressed that they wanted to do something and like personalizing my invite. And then of course, sharing it on stories and social media as well. The underlying theme too, I'm going to use some of the Pixel and Hue stuff infused with ours. We're going to do the weekly challenges like we did in the last Health Bet. Like 1 week is going to be hydration, 1 week's going to be fitness, 1 week's going to be gratitude. So we're going to follow that similar format. And in addition, I wanted to look at the calendar. So that's all going to kick off on the 5th, December 5th. So we'll have them, which is a Monday. I'll have the group open the next weekend so people can get added in on Sunday. But I really don't want to add everybody in until Sunday so that it doesn't start like tracking their progress, especially since this is a Health Bet group. I want to keep the metrics really tight because last time it was super competitive. The difference with this Health Bet is going to be that if they want to be eligible to win the pot, they have to pitch in $10.
So they could join the group and not pitch in, but they could be a participant. But if they want to win the pot, they have to.
Yes, if they want to be eligible to win money, they have to pitch in 10. And I think that just makes it a little bit more like, hey, I'm pitching in 10. I know that if I want to get any of my investment back or more, I need to show up, right? So that's the whole point. So yes, and then mine says like they must have purchased consumables in the last 3 months and have an active bot account. That's just the way that I'm doing it, right? Like invest in your kit, whatever. The other thing I want to do as part of this group is something I do every year and I already have it set up. I might go tweak it a little bit, but I use that app. What is that app? It's, I host trivia games on it, like fun trivia games. Did you guys join it last year? I think Doreen, you've done it with me. No, you haven't?
No.
So I do it for both the coaches and for challengers, but I do like this fun Christmas trivia game and everybody gets on Zoom and we answer questions and I do a little gift card giveaway kind of thing. But I want to pick a night to do that, both for us as a team and then for them as, you know, I do it for members so we can always throw it out to them. But it's always just fun to get on and do something fun. Like a virtual holiday party.
Yeah, I think I did the one with Meredith.
Meredith,
like,
and we did the
2
scavenger hunt. Yeah. We
Yeah,
did the
that was
scavenger-
so fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so we're gonna do that again. We'll do the virtual scavenger hunt for us, and we can do Christmas trivia for our members. And I already have the Christmas trivia already set up. It's just like they log into here and then they download this app on their phone and they answer on the phone and it picks the winner. Like you have to, like it shows the trivia question on the screen and then they have to pick their answer. So it's just a fun way to like have something extra special for the holidays, but I thought that that would be a good time. Then the other piece of housekeeping I have, so I've been for the last year, undergoing this massive transformation, both in my personal life and just with business shifting and everything. And so moving into 2023, we are going to have a brand new team page, and I'm still going to use the name Viva Vita for the wellness studio, but our team name is going to be Team Made for More. And I have a whole new team page and new information for all of us, and just trying to clean out, because a lot of the coaches that are still in that page don't actively, it's their way of recommitting. So you guys are here, but I wanted you to know about it. So we're going to move it into a new team page, and I'll of course send out personal invites to all active coaches. But what I'm also doing, what I'll encourage you to do, is reach out to your coaches too, your PCs and coaches. I'm putting together a little questionnaire right now that helps me assess like people's level of commitment and what they are looking forward to doing themselves in 2023 and how we can partner, right? Because I want to show up and work with the Welling. Clearly, that's you guys and those of you that show up to this call. But also, there might be people who have just not been talking for a while and they don't know how to reintegrate. And with the new model that's in place with Beachbody, which I talked to you guys about after leadership, anybody that did not hit Success Club in 2022 as a PC or a coach, to have the opportunity to re-enroll as a coach, or if they are still a coach, to re-engage their business, and they'll be treated like a new coach, which means they'll be eligible for all those cash bonuses. They'll be eligible for you to count toward elite points. So it's a really good way to go head into the new year by looking at who you've got on your team, who you might want to ask to re-engage, and then setting up one-on-ones this last month so that it's not forced. It's just like, hey, I want to talk to you. I want to see where you're at and get people involved in this fun month. Be like getting re-engaged in the challenge. Maybe just invite them back into the community to take a part in a fitness program. Think about who those people are for you and just start to make your plan and schedule it. So that's the one thing that I'm taking away from this mastermind, is just I had to be so reactionary because I was solo parenting. There was no other option. Kids needed me, I had to drop everything, which is still going to be the case moving forward in certain seasons, but I'm trying to structure things differently so that it doesn't feel as reactive. And I'm noticing like I have to schedule things like when I'm going to do calls with people. And if I don't have calls set up, I need to be using that time to batch content create or to invite, behind the scenes, and making sure that those types of activities don't fall to the wayside. So with that in mind, each year, usually we do Living Your Best Year Ever by Darren Hardy. I know you guys have seen that content before from him, and our team usually joins together and we do it. What I had proposed to do this year, and then Meredith was like, I want to do that with you, was using this model that I'm doing in the mastermind, the Joyful Business Journal that I linked for you guys, and her strategic business assessment tool. So I'm going to send you the strategic business assessment tool right now. So essentially what you need to do with this is I'm going to send you the link, but please, it says right at the top of it, when you open it up in your Google Drive, make a copy of it. And for those of you watching this as a recording, I'll drop all these links in the thread too. So make a copy of it, name it like up in the upper right-hand corner, click on file, rename it Doreen's BAS or Doreen's weekly evaluation. So this is a 3-page evaluation. So if you're on your desktop, there's 3 tabs along the bottom. And when you click those 3 tabs, it gives you like a spreadsheet where you can start filling in the boxes. This is like, I don't know. I like this better than the BAT, and I'm going to tell you why. The BAT, I imposed, and I'm breaking down like my own thought model, and I'm going to be transparent with you guys about it. But my BAT thing is, if I don't have a check in the box, I feel like that is interpreted for me as like, oh, I failed, like I didn't do it. And it discourages me. And that's my own thought model, right? Like that's a thought that I've associated to a feeling of filling out that damn form. But this BAS tool, if you look at it, it gives you a breakdown of what actions you're taking, right? Like what, and each week you'll say the new copy, like what was it this week? What was it next week? You're going to track your earnings. I've been tracking my earnings every week for the last 2 years. And it's very empowering because it tells me, okay, was this a week that I was really engaged in my business because I saw my commissions go up, or I wasn't as dedicated to my business and all I was getting was a team cycle bonus, or I'm not getting enough of a team cycle bonus. Like, what can I be doing to support the coaches on my team? Or should I be recruiting more? It gives you questions to ask yourself, right? So part of this strategic evaluation tool is you tracking your income. But then the other piece of it, if you look on the week ending, month, day, year, it's the second one. So there's instructions, then week, day, month, year. That one, it gives you a goal, like what is your income goal? Then it asks you Success Club and new customers, like what is it that you want to achieve? You know, like what is your goal numbers and where are you based on what you say you want, right? So when you're looking at the BAT, it's like checks in the box every day, but this is looking at the whole month or the whole week, not the whole month. And then you're looking at, you know, customer team results, how many PS coaches are in SC, how many, like, and they're just factual, right? It's taking all the feeling out of it. It's like, how many working coaches do you have? If you have 2, you write 2. If you have 1, you write 1. If you have none, you write none. And there's no feeling attached to it. It's just like, that's where I'm at. Okay, I'm going to look at that. And that's going to help direct my action that I need to prioritize for my business. Because I know, like me, you guys are probably on autopilot with certain things, like your workout, your shake, you're good at, your discipline, you get on the calls, like these things have become just part of what you do, right? But are they moving the needle in your business alone? No. So you have to look at the areas like, okay, when you look at marketing, unsure of how to post reels lives. How many have you done? So last week I was like, I did like 4 posts. I did 4 reels, no lives, right? And then I was looking at mine from last week, one-on-one customer invites. I did 25. I did 100 via the newsletter. One-on-one business invites, I had to put 0. I wanted to do 50. I had a lot. And then I wrote why that was. Why didn't I do the 50? And what I came down to, and this was really powerful, I wanted to share my own coaching with you, is I had a lot to do with my thought model. I didn't want to recruit because, one, I was telling myself it's the end of the year. Nobody really wants to do this the last month of the year. I'll just wait. I literally had the reel that I ended up posting last week filmed and ready to go. And I was like, I'll just hold on to this till the new year. And then I went for coaching myself and they were like, why? You think you're going to get such an influx of people? You need to layer in these things. And it's like, I was talking myself out of it for reasons that I had to get out of my head to see on paper and just call bullshit to myself about why I wasn't doing it. Right. I also had some other unintentional blocks around, well, I don't have the space yet. I have Mike home, but we're not in enough routine yet to onboard new coaches that I'll need to support through those early days of coaching when they need a lot of, extra help. And what I was challenged to realize, hold on guys, I'm sorry, I have to take this off. It got really humid and started raining. So I'm in my, it's like 90% humidity right now. All right. So what I was challenged to realize was that I was wait, hold on. Let me pull this up. I want to see if I can just show this to you guys. Okay. So the thought model was that I was saying to myself, well, I'm not yet in enough routine. I can't bring on these coaches. But then when I questioned that, and this is why I always tell you to know who your audience is. Who are you talking to? Because if I was to throw out an invite the way that I had it worded before, and then the context there was, I would have been trying to recruit somebody that I didn't really want to work with that needed all that handle. I was believing that what I was going to attract when I tried to recruit was somebody that needed a lot of handling, was somebody that needed me to pour a lot of belief and oomph into her. But who do we really want to link arms with? People that are intrinsically motivated, that want to do this, that will dig in and do the work, that will make it figure outable, right? So I went back and my coach made me look at who are you trying to invite? And I read all these qualities. She goes, would she need you to handhold? Would she take up more of your time? She goes, is it possible that you could recruit people that want to do this and are intrinsically motivated? Is it possible for you guys? Would that be possible? Yes, it's possible. So why not try to draft an invite, try not to draft a post with that person in mind, with that intentionality. And when you do that, like when I thought about that, I was like, oh yeah, I'll put this post out right now. If that's who I'm going to be calling to me, then of course, yeah, I'll post right now. So I want to really dive into, as we move forward, when you find yourself coming up against like, I'm not posting or I don't feel motivated, what's the thought? Because there's a thought that doesn't motivate you, and that's what's not motivating you, the thought that you're subscribing to. And if we can disbelieve or at least start to question that thought and unvalidate it, then you start to bring the light in to where you can see a different perspective. Then my creativity started flowing. I was like, oh, my ideal person wants to see this. So like the power questions are, where did I set this? I have so many notes. I've been like in this all day. This is what she has been waiting for. Like, what if you came to each day and interaction with the business, like, this is what she's been waiting for. And then you believe the second thought was, I can help her. And the third thought was, this opportunity could literally change her life. It could change how she parents. It could change how she shows up in her marriage. It could give her a different income opportunity. Like, if we believed those things for us and for what we're offering to other people, like how much different would your energy be when you posted? How much different would your energy be when you interact with people, right? So sharing some of these concepts with Meredith, and she was like, I want to do this instead of living your best year ever. I was like, well, this is kind of what we're already starting to do. So her thought was, there's power in numbers, right? And if you guys wanted to, we could merge with their call on Tuesday. Otherwise, I will keep our Monday call separate and we'll do a more intimate gathering, just us. And then I'll probably also jump on theirs to help, because I'm the one that's going through the mastermind and she's really wanting me to be able to help facilitate this for the team, which I'm game for, because the more practice I get with everybody else, the more practice it like helps me to solidify for myself and for us as a whole. But here's what I'll tell you. When I'm on the masterminds, I'm with like Amy Silverman getting coached, Christina Delgado getting coached, Aaron Hopkins getting coached on their mindset blocks. Talk about like in the last few years, I've had to like re-strategize my life and put a lot of emphasis in the family, not as much in the business. And now I'm sitting at this table and I'm like, okay, let's do this. But hearing what they have to say, it's very powerful, because I'm hearing them tell their insecurities in the business to Rachel. And as she's breaking down what their thought models are, I'm learning so much, because when somebody's coaching you, if I was to speak directly to your situation, Maureen, or yours, Doreen, when our emotions go up, what does our intelligence do? We learned this doing all of the Tony training. What does our intelligence do? Yeah. So when your emotions are high, intelligence drops, because you're leading with like the feeling. So when somebody else is getting coached in front of you, you're not emotionally invested in it. They are. So you're able to listen and pick up on the skills and the key nuances and everything else. It's why a lot of great personal development speakers lead with story, is because you will start to see yourself in their story. You'll start to see your struggle in their struggle. That's why when you get gifted at sharing your story on social media and through reels and all that, those things, people start to gravitate to you because they can see themselves in your story, right? So, all that is to say, we're going to continue to do this work. I would really love for you, if you haven't already, to download the journal I sent you for Rachel. I think Maureen, you said you were going to do it out. I've been working it. You can't see it. It's all blurred, but I've been working mine every day. I've been going through, and it's amazing how you can take, because we were working this with doing the Byron Katie app model, but I feel like this way of doing it is very business focused. And when you combine it with the strategic evaluation tool that I sent you guys, and you're putting in your numbers, and what I would encourage you to do is I set it up every Monday. I'm trying to move it to every Sunday, but with the holiday, I wasn't able to. So every Monday I sit down, and this is the first thing I do. I go through and it's set. What I love about it is like, let me share my screen. What I love about it is I can sit here and I'm writing out what my business goals are, right? I'm writing out the thought processes that I'm not doing. And so this is helping me go back, read them. And I'm like, okay, this is where my thinking is flawed. This is where I need to change my thought, which then changes my feeling. And now I'm excited to do this thing for my business, right? Because otherwise I'm just coming in and I'm like, okay, I'm scattered. I guess I'll do my workout and I guess I'll throw up this post. I guess I'll do that. And none of it is targeted action. I feel scattered. That's one of the things Rachel said. How are you feeling on a regular basis? And I told her, I said, I just feel scattered. I feel like I have passion, I have belief, but it's all over the place. And she goes, okay, so when you feel scattered, what kind of actions are you taking? I was like, scattered action. It's not messy action. It doesn't make sense. And a confused mind always says no if you're talking about a customer, but a confused mind of a coach or a business person is paralyzed. They don't take action because they don't know which direction to go. They feel like everything is a priority, therefore nothing is a priority. And so nothing happens, right? So having this evaluation tool makes me know, like, end of last week, I was like, this is all about locking in the final success club points and throwing in a recruitment post. And then I'm going to tighten things up and I'm going to be done. I'm going to be okay washing my hands while I'm with my family in town. That's a real business owner. When you can do that and feel good about it because you're not worried about it, your business flopping, right? I came back this morning and I was like, here's a recap of what I've been doing. I shared, I got back into the game. I did this. I looked at the thoughts. I questioned the ones that were like, oh, you've been off social media for 3 days. Like, people are going to forget about you. That's not helpful. It doesn't make me inspired to come back and feel like nobody's missed my content, you know? But when I purposefully say to myself, this is what these women have been looking for, what I told myself was my ideal teammates, my ideal women that are out there to link arms with me, understand that we need a couple of days, especially when family is a priority, to just disconnect. And they will appreciate the fact that in my business, I've created the kind of stability to be able to do that, because I don't think it's attractive when I see people posting all their business stuff on the holiday. I think, like, I don't want to do that. Right? Who wants to do that on the holiday? Unless it's fun or you've got it planned out or it's like something like minimal. But I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about being present with my family. I've worked for years to be a present force for my kids and my husband and not be distracted and scattered with them. I want my business to align with that model. Right? So instead, the thought was, no, my ladies absolutely get it. And I'm going to come back into it. I'm going to speak directly to them about, okay, I hope you enjoyed your holiday. So it changed how I was showing up. Therefore, it changed my message. Therefore, it's going to change who I'm talking to and who I'm going to attract. Do you guys see that? Yeah. So I would love for you, if you have one off the cuff that you'd like to work, we can work it. Otherwise, do you have questions about like the BAS thought model that I showed you?
Do you do the BAS model every day?
No,
Once a week.
Once a week. So it's BAS stands for balance and scale, right? And so it's called her strategic evaluation tool. So it's really meant for you to, if you're looking at the second sheet, for you to look at those key activities, right? So you're looking for the key activities that are what you need to do, like for your business, but from a standpoint of, which is different than the business activity tracker, from the standpoint of, we need, these are my goals. Like, my goal is to connect with this many people, that my goal is to have this many out. And when you're looking at it from that perspective and you're looking at a weekly instead of a daily, there's a little bit of room, because on a weekly, you're like, I want to try to shoot for 4 or 5 reels, right? So then at the end of the week, you're putting, okay, I did 3 out of 4. That's good, or whatever. How were the invites? What was the quality of those? Or as far as invites, I did a newsletter. Or you're looking at strategic areas, and then you're putting your emphasis in that for a week, that week. And it changes. That's why we do it per week, because maybe 1 week you're focusing on recruiting, and then you can really evaluate how that worked for you. 1 week you're working on filling up your challenge group. Maybe 1 week you set aside for content creation. You see what I'm going for? So this gives you more of a framework. Yeah, so you talk about what works. You get to talk to you about your wins, like lead with what your wins were. You're looking at your monthly goals for income. I'm just looking at it right now, blank. What did you sell this week? What's your total commission so far this month? What's your current rank? What's your total team bonus so far this month? How many of your 2021, 22, and I mean, you're looking at it, but this gives you actual metrics, because if you're not tracking things, you're not going to grow them. Right. And so when you go to this and you're like, okay, how many have rank advanced? None. Okay. So maybe I need to be working more with my coaches that are working, or maybe I need to talk to people that are more in a mindset to work instead of a mindset to just come on and make this a hobby. Right. It directs your action, which is really the key of any type of evaluation tool, is to help you make more informed choices about how you're spending your time, because I can guarantee you all of us are busy, and all of us are going to be busy for the new year, for Christmas and as we go into the holiday season. So wouldn't it be nice to take a little bit of time, write this stuff out and say, okay, based on this, I want to see X happen by the end of the year. I want to have 5 new coaches enrolled. All right. That means my emphasis this week, unapologetically, is about talking about the coach opportunity. Or, hey, I'm not in Success Club yet, and I want at least 5 of my Success Club points to come from having people enroll in the health bed. So for me, just talking to you about my own, when I'm filling mine out, I'm talking about, okay, this week, I'm setting the stage for me to get people warmed up to take action on the 1st, so that I'm filling my challenge group up on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and the 5th. I've already hit Success Club. So anybody that wants to weave in after that, sure, join us. But then I can switch the conversation to talking about coaching and the holidays and adding tons of value for the month of the holidays, so that when people, because there are people that are just gonna be like, I'm not taking on anything to the new year, and that's fine. But you can be there pouring into, you hit your goals early, so you're there pouring in value with recipes and fun workouts, so that when they are ready to commit in the January, you're here sharing about how you've been using your joyful business journal every day, how you've gotten clear on the how. You are not clear on the who you want to be and why. That's a really powerful way to go about this too. Whenever I get so hung up on the how, and I find a lot of people, especially those of my coaches that are very analytical, and they want the numbers and they want the instructions and you want the how, it's a way to divert it away from you taking action. Because if you're always going to be looking for more training and you always want to know the how, it gives you a scapegoat to not take the action directly yourself. You can always be in planning, or you can always be in training, or you can always be in a call, but the execution always gets deferred. But really, what gets results is when you know why you're wanting to take action. You want to know, you understand who you want to be. Like, who are you becoming? Who do you want to be in this moment? Be her now. Like Doreen, that's already a 15-star diamond coach. Be her now. How would she show up differently? What kind of confidence would she speak to people about the coaching opportunity? Maureen, who's an elite leader and is like, got a team of hustlers. Be her now and show up in that space. And that just shifts it shifts your filter that you're looking at your business and life. You're not like thinking, oh, I can't show up today or post today because nobody's going to miss it anyways. No, if you're Maureen with an elite team, you're showing up because that's just who you are. Be damned what they do. Right. And that's kind of the methodology that we have to take on in order to attract or show up for ourselves. But it has so much more to do with the who and the why, and the how comes after. Like the how makes more sense when you solidify the who and the why. And I always heard early on in my coaching, and I know Doreen, you were around back then, we did all these, find the power of your why. What's your why? What's your why power? But I think it would have been so much more powerful for me, and it is right now, to think about the who. Like, who do you want to be? Who do you want to show up as? Why? Why do you want to show up as her? Then ask why you want to show up as her. Because if you ask who you want to be, that feels very like personal. Like, I get to decide who I'm going to be. That's when mindset becomes a non-negotiable, when you're like, it's a part of who I am. It's a part of how I feel my brain, how I think, how I'm filtering the world. And it's going to dictate how I show up with my kids, how patient I am, how I am with my partner, how I am with my business. Because how you do one thing is arguably how you're going to do other things. So when you tap into those two, then somebody puts a plan in front of you. They're like, here's the plan to grow successful business. If you're the who and you have a powerful why, they hand you any plan and you're going to make it work. So it's like getting really focused for ourselves, for me, for you guys. That's what my goal is for us working toward the end of the year, instead of just doing this living your best year, everything that we've done year after year, which is fantastic. And if that's where you are this year, I'm behind you 100%. But I feel like this would be a really powerful stepping stone to getting like more momentum to your goals. If you bring out this joyful business journal, you start digging into these thoughts, and we start getting into action, really focusing on the who, so that you have this powerful why. And then we've got the how. We have a model that works. We've seen it work over and over again. So it's really just getting into what's going to be work with us. And so then I'll give you guys an insight too. As I'm putting together the new team page, I'm also like putting together new guidelines, new like ways that I want to make sure that we're interacting with one another. So, and this is for myself too. Like it starts with me, because when I'm thinking about, well, how do I want to show up? And what do I want everybody else to bring to the table? And so it came up with being honest and transparent. Like, you can be honest and transparent about where your business is at. The more honest and transparent you can be, the more you're able to get coached and helped, right? So if we're going to apply this thought model moving forward, we have to be honest. And that's why the strategic evaluation tool really works, because it takes all the feels out of it and puts it in black and white. Like, where are you at? Where are you at? Where you're not, right? And then also like just saying, hey, I'm feeling withdrawn from business right now. Because if you're not being honest about that, then it's hard to get help. And that kind of plays into number 2, which is ask for help. Speak up and don't stay confused. Because like we just determined, a confused mind always says no if you're a client, and it always stays confused and takes no action if it's a coach. So with those two being the key components of like our team, you're not going to be able to hide. You have to be willing to say, this is what I'm struggling with, because no hurt feelings. You just need to be able to say, hey, I have some imposter syndrome, or I have this goal that I feel like I missed. I'm talking down to myself. We have to be able to be our own best coach. And then the other part of it is not allowing yourself or anyone else to talk negatively about you. You know, we sometimes are our own worst enemy, talking negatively about ourselves, about the opportunity, about the community, about other people being coached, because we want to keep the energy high and we want to uplift one another, right? And I had to look at this for myself, because so often this last year is so many parts have been so heavy, so hard. And I didn't do a good enough job setting a boundary for when I came on the call being more positive for you guys. And that's not trying to be fake. I still want you guys to know what's happening, but I also feel like I allowed it to become more of like spilling our hearts instead of directed work focused action. And I want to be able to I want to hold space for you in both capacities, but I want to honor the fact that we are here to help you grow into a business that's successful in reaching the goals. And sometimes that's not possible when we get too sidetracked. So moving forward, that's going to be a principle as well. And then taking responsible for everything. And I did this in the mastermind too. Like, and what I mean by taking responsibility for everything yourself is, anytime we delegate responsibility, like I didn't get that training or I didn't get that bit of information, we lose our empowerment. We're not taking 100% of our own empowerment. We're putting it in somebody else's hands. So for instance, I'll give you an example. At the mastermind, I wasn't able to go to the live event, right? And then I was attending virtually, but there was some technical issues and I wasn't able to hear. Like a lot of the conference live was them talking to Rachel. So she was mic'd, but they weren't. So there were all these powerhouse coaches bringing all these great questions and team building dynamics to the table, and I couldn't hear. And there were like three other besides me, people doing it virtually, and they would just log off. They were like annoyed and frustrated. I didn't. I stayed. I took 100% responsibility. And so while on the parts I couldn't hear, I was like trying really hard to hear. And I was like, you know what, screw it. She gave us the whole portal and she recorded all of the previous masterminds and the previous live event. And so on the times, which sometimes it was like a half an hour I couldn't hear, I would go into the portal and I'd just start playing videos and I'd keep my screen open. And then when I could hear her again, I'd pause it and I'd pay attention. But I was determined not to let that opportunity go to waste, right? And so look for ways that even if you feel like it doesn't measure up, that you're going to get what you came for, right? Whether that's hearing somebody else get coached, what can you pull from that experience? You know, if you're not able to log on a call that day, like how are you going to still take action in your business? This can be applied to not just our interactions as a team, but all your interactions with your business. If something didn't pan out, like a couple of the coaches didn't have anybody join for the flash sale, that's all right. Did you get in there and learn what you could from the flash sale, up level your knowledge? Meredith didn't have anybody for the first time ever have anybody buy anything. So she went and extended the sale through the weekend. She took 100% ownership of it, had extended the sale through the weekend, and is still doing it empower like Cyber Monday thing. And then this one's my Tony Robbins one is always commit to play full out, like be here for every bit of it and give it what you got, and then choose to be the best student you can and get what you came for. So like those moving forward, I'll have them like posted in the team page, but they're going to become part of like the ethos of like how we show up. And hopefully we can pass them on, because I believe in this structure, in this discipline, calls forth a new level of you, calls forth a new level of leadership within each of us. Because I already see you guys as leaders. I know it's in there, and we have to borrow belief, right? Oftentimes at the beginning of our journey, and then reinforce it by doing a book of wins and understanding, which again, that strategic evaluation tool is forcing you to share what went right, what went good, what can we work on. Are you guys in favor of these changes and helping me institute them? Because you guys are the leadership we are going in this direction together. Yes, I'm here for it. I'm really excited.
I am too. I love it. I love all of it. And I love the thought of be her now. That just really just speaks to my soul, and, you know, get what you came here for. You know, there's plenty of things that we can be doing and playing alongside and seeing, you know, the little nicks as opportunities.
Yeah.
Opportunities for growth. I love it.
I find like I didn't think, because I'm not a charts, numbers, PowerPoint Express Excel spreadsheet girl. But when she brought it out, I'll be honest, my first thought, and I had to do a thought model around it, is like, I hate tracking. Like, I don't like tracking. I don't like it. And so then I started to dig, and I'm like, why don't I like tracking? Well, the thought is I'm just going to end up being faced with all my failures anyways, and I'm just going to feel shitty about it, and then I'm going to be upset. You know, all these things came out. I mean, lots. I had a whole page worth, right? So then I had to go to, so that's the unintentional model. My intention, I'm going to get a whiteboard so we can do this together too, because it's really helpful for me to see it. But then my intentional model is the circumstance doesn't change. Like, I need to track, right? That's the circumstance I need to track. The thought on the one model, intentional, is I hate tracking. I don't want to be faced with this. It makes me feel anxious and icky and like I'm going about this all wrong. So then I look at the intentional model. I still have to track. Now my thought is I'm becoming someone who appreciates seeing the metrics. Knowing the metrics helps me take more focused action. When I take more focused action, I'm saving myself time. When I save myself time, I'm getting a better result. When I get a better result, I'm helping my family. When I'm helping my family, I'm fulfilling my purpose with this work. Do you see how that goes in a totally different direction? Now I'm like, hell yeah, bring on the tracking. Like, bring it on, like, put it up in front of me, and I want to go. And I still have to catch myself, make no mistake. Like, I'm still like, oh, okay, it's strategic evaluation time. And it starts to creep, and I'm like, nope, open it. Like, we're going to go. It helped me. And then what I have to remind myself is, how last week did this really help you? It helped me put out 3 reels when I'd been on a like hiatus. It helped me put a timeline together of what I wanted to do for the group for the month. So when I saw how it was directly impacting my productivity, and then by giving me back to my family for a few days, I'm like, I'm a believer. Let's do this. So you have to reinforce that new choice by the result, because it's the knowing the circumstance, knowing the thought, knowing the feeling, knowing the action you need to take, and then understanding the result. And that result, I had to positively reinforce, like, this really helped you. This really helped you. So the next time I open it up, I'm not as heebie-jeebie about it, because I know what it's going to do for me. Right. So start looking. And it's great, because now I'm seeing all the ways. I'm like, I have a really positive mindset. But there's a difference between being a positive person, having a positive mindset, and having unintentional thoughts slip in that cause you to have imposter syndrome. You can still be a real positive person and have imposter syndrome, right? You can be positive that you have imposter syndrome. You know what I mean? Like, you can be positively, confused in your messaging. I'm positive, I'm uplifting people, but I'm confused in my messaging. right? And so when you come back to this evaluation piece, so all that is to say, by next week, pull this up, rename it on your computer, fill out those key elements, bring it to the page, right? Once we have our new team page officially launched, there will be a section where you can actually like post them, screenshots of them if you want to get coached, and like tag me, and we'll use our experiences. This is how we're going to mold the new dynamic of our team moving forward. Is people are going to expect this when they're in the team. They're going to come in, they're going to see these professional evaluations going up every week. They're going to be like, okay, how do I do this? Show me how. It's only going to further validate us. And you guys are going to learn how to do them for yourself and for the people on your team, because this is only going to help you grow as a coach to understand their needs. How are your people using their circumstances and creating thoughts that aren't helping them? Yeah. With that being said, do you want to continue a Monday call that's more intimate and just us, where we go through stuff like this and of course other things? Or do you want to try to mold with Meredith's call? I don't know that the noon Pacific Standard Time on Tuesdays fits for you guys. What fits?
I like the intimate calls. Like, I
Okay.
feel like I get more out of it because it's more personal.
Okay.
I haven't been on Meredith's call in a while since I went on the East Coast, but I could probably make that work.
Well, like noon her time is what?
3 p.m.
3 for you guys.
Yeah.
What's
I
that
could
time?
make it work. It would be 3 Eastern.
Yeah, I agree with Doreen. I like our smaller setting, more intimate.
Okay.
And on Tuesdays at 3:00, I'm not able to make her meeting anymore. So
Okay.
I would have to watch the recording or.
And I don't want that for you guys. I was only going to throw it out as an option. Like I said, I'm going to end up doing both anyways. I was just seeing what you guys wanted. Kristen had asked, and I know a few other people, and I know Maureen, you don't love the later hours. What's an hour later than this look like for you guys now? What is that way too late?
Yeah, I mean, I this hour works good for me.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me. I get up early and then my brain just starts shutting off.
I know,
but-
my brain starts shutting off around this time too. So
Okay.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, any later, I don't know if I'm gonna absorb anything.
Okay. Nope.
I know, some just a lightweight or something, but
I feel you.
No, it's okay.
awful.
No, you guys, I've traveled to the East Coast and tried to host my calls, and I give it to you because it's like I'm on the East Coast and I'm traveling. Of course, so I'm off my routine. So maybe if I was on a routine, it would be a bit different. But I'm like, okay, I'm winding down from the night. Oh, I got to get on a call. Okay, it's like you're not fully there. So I appreciate the dedication and commitment it takes for my East Coasters to get on at this time. I really, really do, and I want to make sure it's valuable for you guys. So hopefully this whole plan helps do some of that. Cool. All right. Any other questions, wins? I feel like I did a lot of the talking tonight. I'd like to hear from you guys. Anything else you want to talk about or where you're at in your business?
I guess when I had like 2 like former people I worked with like reach out today, like talking about how they don't feel good after Thanksgiving. They're like, I'm ready to do it again. So I sent out a share cart, and then I'm working on getting another girl set up. So I should be at SC6 by maybe like the end of the week, hopefully by the end of the month.
Yeah, that's
So,
exciting.
yeah, I just got to get a good power hour and have a little more time tomorrow to work the business. So
Awesome.
I finished Healthy Obsession, the 3 weeks.
yay.
That was very exciting. I was down almost 5 pounds and like 7 inches in just 3 weeks. And that's
great.
not like eating well. I mean, in the ballpark. Business, I'm just kind of stalling right now, to be honest. I keep thinking like people aren't just interested in buying right now. So yeah, but that's, I was thinking, listening to you talk, like I want to try that, just even if I hit like one person a week, you know, sold one total solution pack a week, that would be great. That would be a lot more than what I'm doing right now. So that's where I'm at.
Thinking, I was really, you guys stuck, like real stuck in my thinking, like couldn't even think of a way to turn an unintentional thought, like I'm just stalling around. Like clearly the opposite of that would be just do the damn thing. But I was so stuck. So I hear like my same process is going on for you, Maureen. What was really helpful for me is this worksheet that Rachel gave us, and I'm going to send it to you so that you can pull it up. She calls them bridge thoughts. And what I love about it is that it helps you come up with your own alternate thoughts, because let's be real, if it's a habitual thought that you're used to thinking, it's hard to get it out of your head, right? Like I'm just stuck. Like I think people don't need this till the new year, you know. I feel pretty good with my choice, and I don't have to be responsible for people till the end of the year. I'm just going to enjoy the end of the year. And here's the thing, if that's what you believe, then you're gonna be in that place. But if you truly want to be in a different place, like, and she called me and she's like, you invested in this mastermind, you want this, so you clearly want to be here. She goes, so you're not waiting for the first of the year. Like you're showing up on these calls. You don't want to wait till the first of the year.
Right.
You know, like, what do you think there's going to be like a floodgate if you're calling actions to people and they like only one answers you? Like, we're not going to have this abundant influx. And on top of it, even if we did, we're creating good problems for ourselves that we'd be happy to find solutions for.
Of course.
Right? So it's really about getting underneath the thoughts. So what I'm going to send you is like, she has these sample bridge thoughts. So a few of them are, I'm looking for ways it's possible. I am a person who, so when you have these negative thoughts, like I'm stalled, I'm becoming someone, that's one of my, I'm becoming someone who is organized. That's like, or I'm becoming someone that does have super time management. I'm becoming someone, or I'm choosing to believe, this is a powerful one. I'm choosing to believe that the type of coach I want to recruit doesn't need me to handhold her and spend a lot of time, right? I'm choosing to believe that women are ready to work out with me throughout the holidays. I'm choosing to believe that the women I want to work with, like you're claiming the people you want to work with, are ready now. Could that be a more powerful thought? When you think that thought, do you want to post? I'm choosing to think. I'm committed to thinking. I'm committed to thinking that that woman is out there. I'm committed to thinking that I'm going to recruit my next rock star coach in the month of December. Right? I am committed to thinking. So when you use these bridge thoughts, it plants the seed of like, okay, yeah, I could do that. This is just a sentence in my brain. One of the things she said at the live event, and I'm like, it's so silly, but it's simple. And that's why it sticks. Is like, you're one thought away. You're one thought away from a completely different business, a completely different self-actualized version of you. One thought away. So if we start to look at our thoughts that are keeping it like us in a cycle that isn't serving us, and we choose to change that thought, the more you start to question the thought, the more likely it is you're going to find the one that's getting in your way. Right? And when you change that one, when you finally dig deep enough to get to that one, then everything else changes. I love that thought. I'm like, let's keep digging. Makes me want to dig every day. I'm like, I'm excavating that bad boy. We're going to get it out. We're going to go. Right? Like, if questioning these thoughts every day gets me one step closer to finding that one that's going to change it all, let's go. I'm thinking this for now. A lot of people that have a hard time with perfectionism, this is good for them because it's like, I'm thinking this for now, but I'm leaving the possibility open that I might need to change that thought, right? It feels good to think this way. I'm willing to believe it's possible my brain is wrong. Like people that are usually, these are my 8s, the people that are really dug into the way that they are, or they've always been that way. This is a good one. It's possible that my brain is wrong. I may be wrong about, like, introduce the opposite. I may be wrong about the way I see myself. This helps people that have a really negative version of self. I may be wrong about this, and this might be different. This might be true. I'm growing into the belief I'm open to changing my belief about, I'm in the process of, I say that one about, I'm in the process of becoming XYZ. I'm in the process of becoming a badass leader. I'm in the process of building an amazing community, whatever your is that you want to see actualized. I'm working on, I'm curious. What if I believed? So I'm going to send you this, print this out. And then as you're journaling, mine's in my journal. I think this is actually in the Joyful Business Journal too, but I'll send you guys it as a separate page. But I keep it with me. And that way I'm always like, okay, that was really unhelpful thought. Look at this. And I have an easier time turning it around. I'm not like spending hours spinning my wheels about how do I turn this around? I'm stuck in a negative thought pattern. I go to this and I try to self-coach first, because the more you can try to self-coach, the more part of your process this will become. Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about tonight? Are you both doing the health bet group?
Yes. Yeah.
Inviting to. Okay.
Yeah, I'm inviting to it. I just wanted to get clear, because one of my girls wants to join, but she's a coach, so she can't participate in the actual pot, right? Because she was asking about that. I'm like, no, I'm like trying to explain to her.
No. If you're a coach, you can invite to it. You'd say this is a great opportunity, because I'm assuming it's Annette.
Yeah.
Is it Annette?
Yeah, it's Annette. Yeah, because she won the last time. She's like, can I do it again? I'm like, well, you're a coach now.
Yeah, no, I'd say I love your enthusiasm, but what would be even better now that you're a coach is to use that enthusiasm to invite someone in.
Yeah.
Right. Like tell her, be like, you loved it. It was so transformational for you. And I love that.
Share your journey that you won. Like, right.
Like, I won the health bet. It ignited this whole passion for me to even become a coach. Join me in this, and you might have the opportunity to win the pot. Like this was a great, help her.
Okay.
Take her story and turn it into an invite. Right? Because it's never about product. And that's one of the hardest things for new coaches to understand. It's not about a product, it's about a story. And they don't think they have a strong enough story to share. But the reality is, when you're new and you have those successes, those are the most relatable successes. Because when we think about people being in this hole and success being a ladder, if she's made that first success, it's most fresh for her. Like that first win is most fresh for her, so she can speak life into it. Whereas if I'm talking to people that are just getting started, like I have to go back 10 years, like I have to go back 10 years down the road and be like, okay, where was I in my mindset then? Because I've evolved so much past that point. Help her tap into the power of her story now. Be like, ask her and help her do it without even telling her that that's what you're doing. And what I mean by that is ask her. So what did you love about the group? Ask her that.
Okay.
What helped you make the decision? What helped you make the decision to become a coach? What did you love about the health bet? And then whatever she says, like write them down and then read it back to her. Be like, all right, you're going to do some posts and you're going to tell people this, and you're going to read back what she wrote, and you're going to say, invite them to do this. You're a coach now. And inspire her too. I don't know what her personality style is but here's a thing, like say, why is it that you want to participate in health bet? Ask her that. And if it's a financial one, right? Or if it was just for the accountability, be like, how much more accountable would you be if you actually brought in members that were joined because of you? Would you still have that same level of accountability? And if it's numbers or both, say you can earn X amount of commission by inviting 3 people to do this with you. So you'll earn more than you would have gotten from the health bet. You see what I'm saying? Like by getting commission. So if money is her motivator, be like, hey, I know a way to guarantee that you get, health bet. You're going up against all these other people in competition. Be in competition against yourself, invite 5 people, and you're going to have a commission check that's bigger than what you would have won in the health bet. You see what I mean? But find out what's motivating her. Like if it was the if it was the intrinsic like competition of it all, be like, trust me, you invite some people and you say you're a coach for that community, you're going to want to show up. Like the motivation will be there. Likewise, if it's the money that you're after, I know a way for you to make some money, and you can share that graphic that I gave you guys in the thread. Did you see the how to earn cash before Christmas graphic that I posted? Yeah. Tell her that applies to her.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is you, and this is good because this is you, like you're her coach, you're her mentor. Like you can tell her, I've been in this business for years, and I can tell you that my accountability goes up whenever I take stake in a group as one of the facilitators. Be like, you're a facilitator now. You may be co-leading with us, but you can invite to this group, and you should do that. Like, empower her, speak belief into her, because that's the stage she's at right now.
Okay. Believe in me.
Yeah, and if you want, I just revamped, because the new team page and everything, I just revamped a guide for new coaches. That goes through the first 2 months as a coach, like actions to take, videos to watch, all that. If you guys want that, I'll put it in the thread, but you can give that to her as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys being on. Did you get good stuff out of this call? Yes.
Yeah.
You got what you came for? Good. All right. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.